And the last thing I heard, had a bunch of errors in the law. I guess finally somebody probably said, I'll tell you what, give us $15 million. It's Ken Barton.
This is true.
Oh, he is from the state.
But they're all related.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah.
you know, man, I just told Candy about a week ago. I said, the health authority really needs to look at that.
He's
It's the same.
They were probably Taylor farmers
Oh,
and
yeah.
high ribbons and the Silver project again. I said, they really need to that's additional property. I said, there's a lot of acreage right there. Not that I want them to come towards Jarrettstown.
Yeah.
But they gotta be looking for to these things.
Yeah. They got some cash to be paid for.
They do. I would also really encourage the San Mason Road area. If they would put an entrance and exit off of San Mason.
He would look in.
I don't want one San Mason. You put on them meat all you want.
Guess what? They're not.
That'd be right at my house.
I hadn't done any of the measurements.
I'm right there at Chenoweth Drive. You come on St. Mason Road, you know, right there. So that's just up the hill. Take all that. I know there's a lot of land right around there.
Especially in south. And north, really.
Yeah.
There's a couple properties you have to acquire.
Did you have Seder?
Let the record show 6 o'clock. We'll call our meeting to order. Sarah, would you please do the roll call?
Here.
Linda Barnhart,
Present.
Eric Cole,
Here.
Bettina Gordon,
Present.
Tim Lewis,
Present.
Dean Gant. Here. Nick Field.
Okay, we have a quorum. We'll proceed with the approval of the agenda, which I don't think has changed. Okay, I have a motion of Mr. Goff, second of Mr. Gokenhour to approve the agenda as submitted. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The agenda is approved. Do we have anyone that's signed in to speak under the open governmental process? Thank you. All right, the next item is approval of the meeting minutes. Have a motion of Mr. Goff to approve the meeting minutes as submitted.
Second.
Second of Mr. Gokenhour. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain due to absence.
Okay, let the record show that one abstention by Mr. Gant due to absence. All right, we have 4 public hearings this evening. We'll start with our first one, Harvest Glen.
Yes, this is a request for final plat approval. The project is Harvest Glen, Phase 1, Lots 2, 11 through 25, and 32. The file is 2007-078. The developer is Panhandle Homes. The engineer is Fox and Associates. It's located in the Opequon District, map 10, parcel 28. The site is located on Vicksburg Port and Creasy Way. This phase proposes 17 single-family lots on approximately 12 acres to be served by public water and sewer. The final plat meets the requirements of the subdivision ordinance, therefore staff recommends final plat approval contingent upon receipt of surety in the amount of $1,112,812.80. Plat to be released upon receipt of surety and developer's agreement.
Recuse for this project.
Let the record show that Mr. Gant is recusing due to conflict of interest. Who do we have to represent the project?
Good evening. Steve Stianovich with Fox and Associates representing the applicant.
Thank you. This is a public hearing. It's your opportunity to make your comments known.
Move public hearing to close.
Let the record show that there is no comments from the public. I have a motion from Mr. Goff to close public hearing.
Second.
Second from Mr. Lewis. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is now closed. Planning Commission members, questions?
If there are no questions, ma'am, make a motion we accept accept staff recommendation for final plat approval contingent upon receipt of surety in the amount of $1,112,812.80. Plat to be released upon receipt of surety and developer's agreement.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Gokenhour and second by Mr. Goff to accept the staff recommendation, and that is to grant final plat approval contingent upon receipt of surety in the amount of $1,112,812.80. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
Thank you.
The next public hearing is Red Hill. Let the record show that Mr. Gant is back in the meeting.
This is a request for final plat approval. The project is Red Hill Section 1, Phase 11, lots 65 through 79, 112 through 139, 178 through 190, and 338 through 345. The file number is 2201-014. The developer is Bill Kogar Investments. The surveyor is Roberts Land Surveying. It's located in the Hedgesville Tax District, map 28, parcel 46. The project is located on Ridge Road South, approximately half mile from its intersection with Hedgesville Road. The final plat proposes the development of 64 single-family lots on approximately 15 acres to be served by public water and sewer. The final plat meets the requirements of the subdivision ordinance, therefore staff recommends final plat approval contingent upon receipt of surety in the amount of $1,379,503.20. Plat to be released upon receipt of surety and developer's agreement.
Do we have anyone to represent the project?
Good evening, Mike Roberts, represent the project.
Thank you. Thank you for closing that door. Again, this is public hearing. Questions or comments at this time? Let the record show that there is no comments.
Make a motion to close public hearing.
Motion by Mr. Gant, second by Mr. Goff to close public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is now closed. Planning Commission members, do you have questions of Mr. Roberts for the staff?
Hearing none, ma'am. Motion we accept staff recommendation for final plat approval contingent upon receipt of surety in the amount of $1,379,503.20. Plat to be released upon receipt of surety and developer's agreement.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Gokenhour, second by Mr. Gant to accept staff recommendation, and that is to grant final plat approval contingent upon receipt of surety in the amount of $1,379,503.20. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Okay, the next public hearing is Communities of Burwell.
This is a request for final plat approval. The project is Communities of Burwell Phase 9, lots J19 through J43 and L21 through L38. The file number is 2112-445. The developer is Burwell Properties LLC, surveyor Roberts Land Surveying. It's located in the Falling Waters District, map 13, parcel 10.4. The site is located at or on, Nighttown Road, approximately 2,000 feet west from its intersection with Weaver Lane. This phase proposes 43 townhome lots on approximately 6.5 acres to be served by public water and sewer. The final plat meets the requirements of the subdivision ordinance, therefore staff recommends final plat approval contingent upon receipt of surety in the amount of $479,328. Plat to be released upon receipt of surety, developer's agreement, and proposed covenants and restrictions.
Do we have anyone to represent the project?
Yes, Mike Roberts, represent the project.
Thank you. Okay, Planning Commission, this is a public hearing. Do we have
Public
a,
hearing be closed.
let the record show that there is no comments from the public, and a motion by Mr. Goff to close public hearing.
Second.
Second by Mr. Gant. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, the public hearing is now closed. Do you have questions, Planning Commission members, of Mr. Roberts?
Mike, the only question I have is the proposed covenants and restrictions the same
Yes,
for this section as
it'll
they
just
are?
be a declaration tying this section into the previously included section.
Okay, thank you. Didn't want to, it's totally separate.
Yeah, it's all the same.
Okay, thanks.
If there's no further questions, I'm ready for a motion.
Make the motion, we accept staff recommendation, grant final plat approval upon receipt of surety in the amount of $479,328 and developers agreement, proposed covenant restrictions.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion, Mr. Gantz, second by Mr. Goff, to accept staff recommendation, and that is to grant final plat approval contingent upon receipt of surety in the amount of $479,328. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? You got it.
Thank you.
The last public hearing is Seder Residential Development.
This is a request for waiver. The project is Seder Residential Development. The file number is 2204-113, tied to 2107-248. The developer is ILA Properties. The engineer is Cheat Road Engineering. It's located in the Mill Creek District, map 6, parcel 16. This site is located off of Seder Drive near the intersection of Winchester Avenue and Jarrettstown Road. This project proposes 168 single-family attached lots and 2 storage unit buildings on approximately 18 acres to be served by public water and sewer. The developer is requesting the following waivers to the Berkeley County Subdivision Ordinance 2009. Section 802.1.A.I, prohibiting a right-of-way from being in a buffer area. Section 802.A.B.I.A, requiring a 25-foot buffer with screening between a residential and commercial use. Staff recommendation, the required 25-foot buffer area with screening runs adjacent to a wooded area of the neighboring church's property. Since the proposed residential lots and right-of-way would be naturally screened from the church's property and more than 25 feet from any adjacent structure, staff recommends approval of the waivers to section 802.1.A.I and 802.A.B.I.A.
Lots of points in there. Okay, do we have anyone to represent the project?
Trevor Lloyd, ILA Properties.
Thank you. Okay, this is a public hearing. Any questions or comments from the public?
The public hearing is closed.
Let the record show that there is no comments, and a motion by Mr. Goff to close public hearing.
Second.
Second by Mr. Gant. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is now closed. Do you have questions of Mr. Lloyd or of the staff?
I just have one question. I assume that Seder Drive is being used as both entrance and exits, 2 of them, since it's more than 100 units.
Yes.
One on the east side and one, I guess, on the south side.
Yes, sir.
Is that a state maintained road, or is that going to be maintained by the developer?
Could you show me which one you're talking about?
Seder comes in this way.
Okay, yeah, state, yeah. that
State
one,
maintained,
yeah.
right?
And then that be developed.
Okay.
So, Tyler, the Lockwood Drive, that right of way that goes to the rear of the fire station, that street will go all the way through and tie into the development, correct?
Yes, yes, sir.
Has there been any conversation with the fire department there?
Yes, sir.
And what was that conversation?
I mean, I wasn't part of that conversation, but there was nothing negative that came out of it that I know of. They're in agreement with it. Great. The road that goes to that fire station is going to be improved.
Okay. I mean, that's their westward exit out of that facility if they're heading, west on 51 or 81, heading that direction. So
Yes, sir.
I would ask that some proper signage
Oh, absolutely.
go up there to warn people that there's a firehouse there. I mean, just
No parking.
well, I mean, for I guess 4 years now, they've been going out there without that threat of having anybody coming really the other direction, or so just some good signage there.
Yeah, absolutely. No problem. Thank you. Too easy.
I just have a question of the staff. What are attached lots?
Townhomes.
townhomes or duplexes, villas.
Do we often call it attached lots?
It's in the ordinance.
I don't think I ever saw attached lots before. I thought I've seen attached dwellings in a staff report. Huh? I know it's the same thing, but I just wanted to hear it.
I'll
Attached,
add the word dwelling.
okay. Attached lots sounds a little, like camping. Okay. If there are no further questions, I'm ready for a motion.
I'll make the motion, we accept staff recommendation and approve the waivers for section 802.I.A, and 802.A.E.I.
Second.
Motion, Mr. Gantz, second by Mr. Goff, to accept staff recommendation, and that is to grant the waivers with all the points in it. Okay, I'm not gonna read them. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Okay, that concludes our public hearing. The next item is Mountaineer Recovery Village, and I believe Mr. Gantz said he wanted to recuse from that as well. Let the record show that Mr. Gantz leaving the room.
Yes, this is a staff report for request for preliminary plan approval. The project is Mountaineer Recovery Village Phase 1. The file is 2203-071. The developer is Mountaineer Recovery Center, and the engineer is Fox & Associates. It's located in the Arden District, tax map 11, parcel 56, and is located on the west side of Van Meter Road, approximately 900 feet south of the intersection of Van Meter Road and Charlestown Road. Phase 1 proposes 3 recovery residences on approximately 4.9 acres to be served by public water and sewer. No waivers or exceptions have been requested. On April 29, 2022, County Engineer Doug Smith issued a letter of approval stating that a review of the above-mentioned project was completed and found to be in compliance with the Berkeley County Subdivision Ordinance. The preliminary plan meets the requirements of the Subdivision Ordinance, therefore staff recommends approval of the preliminary plan.
Thank you. Do we have anyone to represent the project?
Steve Stianovich with Fox & Associates, representing the applicant.
Thank you. Planning Commission members, do you have questions of Mr. Fox or the staff?
Okay, no, ma'am. I make a motion, we accept, approval of preliminary plan at this stage.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Gokenhour, second by Mr. Goff to accept staff recommendation, and that is to approve the preliminary plan for Mountaineer Recovery Village Phase 1. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
Thank you. Linda, can I make just one brief comment? I promise it'll be brief.
Well, you don't stir up anything.
I won't stir up anything. I just wanted to call the commission's attention to the date this plat was submitted, which was March 3rd. It's on page 2 of your staff report. And that was only 10 weeks ago. So I really have to thank staff for all their assistance working with us on this very important project. Hopefully that didn't stir anything up.
Is that an
That's an staff. Yes.
staff? Very good. Thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, staff. The next item is preliminary plan approval for Dollar General.
Yes, this is a request for preliminary plan approval. The project is Dollar General Shepherdstown Road. The file is 2203-067. The developer is A&R Development and the engineer is Thrasher Group. The project's located in the Apecan District, tax map 15A, parcel 94, and is located at the intersection of Eagle School Road and Shepherdstown Road. The developer is proposing a 10,640 square foot Dollar General on approximately 1.05 acres to be served by public water and sewer. At the December 6, 2021 Planning Commission meeting, the developer was granted waivers to the following requirements: 30 parking spaces in lieu of the required 39 spaces, a reduction in the 25-foot rear setback, and a reduction in the 75-foot front setback. On May 3rd, 2022, County Engineer Doug Smith issued a letter of approval stating that a review of the above-mentioned project was complete and found to be in compliance with the subdivision ordinance. The preliminary plan meets the requirements of the subdivision ordinance, therefore staff recommends approval contingent on adding the minor plat file and recordation information to the preliminary plan. And all that is the stormwater maintenance, or the stormwater minor plat that shows the easement for MS4's inspection purposes, which has already been approved and we stamped it today, and I'm sure Mr. Milne recorded it at the county clerk's office.
Okay. Do we have anybody to represent the project?
Rob Milne with the Thrasher Group.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Milne. Planning Commission members, do you have questions of Mr. Milne or of the staff?
I make a motion we accept staff recommendation, grant preliminary plan approval, contingent upon adding a minor plat, file number, and recordation information to preliminary plan.
Second.
Motion, Mr. Gantz, second by Mr. Goff, to accept staff recommendation, and that is to approve the preliminary plan with the additives of file number and a recordation information. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. The next item is a preliminary final plan, Miller Subdivision.
Yes, it's a request for preliminary final plat approval. The project is Miller Subdivision, file 2101-022. The developer is Judith Miller, and the surveyor is Roberts Land Surveying. It's located in the Hedgesville District, tax map 38, parcel 15, and is located at the end of Cabana Lane. This project proposes a 2-acre residential lot and 55-acre residue parcel to be served by public water and sewer. On May 2nd, 2022, County Engineer Doug Smith issued a letter of approval stating that a review of the above-mentioned project had been completed. It was found to be in compliance with the subdivision ordinance. The project is found to be in compliance with the Berkeley County subdivision ordinance. Therefore, staff recommends approval of the preliminary final plat.
Do we have anyone to represent the project?
Yes, Mike Roberts, representing the project.
Thank you. Planning Commission members, do you have questions of Mr. Roberts?
Hearing none, ma'am, make a motion to accept staff recommendation for approval for preliminary final plat. Second.
Motion by Mr. Gokenhour, second by Mr. Goff, to accept staff recommendation, and that is to grant the preliminary final plat for Miller Subdivision. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
Thank you. Can I go off record for a second?
Sure.
Just want to let you know that my wife and I, Jill, are celebrating our 30th wedding anniversary tonight. And we came to join you all.
What was the end?
Happy anniversary.
What was the end of that?
And we decided to come and join you all.
Oh,
Way to celebrate.
yeah. Well, it's the proficiency of the staff and the planning commission that you're out of here in time to go have a 6:30 dinner. And congratulations. Any planning commission members, staff council discussion? Mr. Legal, you got anything to say?
I don't have anything to say.
Wow.
Sure.
Mr. Smith, do you have anything to say?
No, man, but they good.
Wow. Okay. Anybody else have anything to say? I just want to draw everybody's attention to the nice job that Laura and Doug did in presenting Mr. Settle, thank you, with a satisfactory reply. I'm sure you all got that, and hopefully that does answer his questions, that we are not just taking advantage of him. If there's nothing
I
else,
move to adjourn.
motion by Mr. Goff to adjourn at 6:22. All those in favor? Opposed? We adjourned.
Oh, my.
You still going to Pilates or whatever? No, but how can we?